Thanks for tuning in. Today we're going to be reviewing the Lumos Aero GT road cycling helmet. The latest Lumos Aero GT is a lighter weight alternative to Lumos typical helmets that incorporates aerodynamics and weight with a removable rear taillight instead of having it integrated. It's one of the sleekest helmets Lumos currently offers and is fully compatible with their Firefly lights. You can see packaging is very simple. You just have a Lumos box. You can see a lot of illustrations of the features as well as graphics showing the taillight attached, which is sold separately or as a bundle. Go ahead and open this up and we'll go over the full specs. Retail price on this is $99.95, which includes one Firefly Mini. So very affordable price point. Has an aerodynamic design with the magnetic rear taillight holder rather than having a fully integrated design. You can see just attach it here with the magnet built into the foam. It has a MIPS liner, so you have additional safety in case of an accident. And you have a FlexFit adjustment system, which has a vertical adjusting cradle, rear dial, and thin nylon straps. You even have their OptiGrip sunglass holder with these little rubber pads on the front that ensure you can easily store your sunglasses. As far as what comes with it, you can see we have the helmet here, some basic tagging. And what's interesting is they actually advertise the Magic Shine CME 50 mag, which is a more alternative, cheaper alternative than the Lumos Firefly that lacks the center LED. So you also have this little bag here, which stores a little rain cover with the Lumos brand on there, so you can put it over the helmet, almost like a little bib, just to keep the water out. Now let's take a look at the weight of the helmet. We have the size medium with the MIPS, obviously, and then that on the scale comes in at 303, so definitely a lot lighter than their other helmets which have integrated lights. Visually, the Lumos Aero GT shares the same swoopy design as the other helmets such as the Lumos Ultra, but it's one of the first helmets that does not incorporate the lighting elements directly in it. So you can see the U shape in the front that's very distinctive, but there is no front light. And same thing with the rear, same distinctive styling, but you don't have any explicit taillights built in. It has a nice two-piece upper shell, so very clean. You can see it looks very premium because it actually has a fully finished shell, so it wraps around the bottom edge, so it gives a nice complete look. Very sharp lines between the two pieces, so you have a bottom portion, then a top, and then again sharp lines between the exposed foam and the polycarbonate shell. You have about 14 vents here, so you can see a big vent in the front, a nice little indented vent here. You have the sunglass holders on the side with these rubber pads, and it's even labeled OptiGrip, so you can put your sunglasses on here. And then the more aerodynamic side profiles, so you can see same swoopy design, but a blunt trailing edge, and most of the center section is actually completely covered for additional aerodynamic benefits. On the rear, you have these big 3 openings, and this is kind of the cool part. There's a magnet built in, so if you were to get the Firefly Mini or the Firefly, you can see you could just stick it in the middle here and have it sit there nice and cleanly, or the CME 50 mag for Magic Shine, which would also fit in there nicely. You also have the reflective stripe here and kind of cool branding. So you can see it's almost a metallic shiny Aero GT here, then the shiny Lumos as well. So it stands out without being in your face. Lumos currently offers this helmet in quite a few colors, from these more standard black, white, gray, and blue to some really cool graphic options. Depending on which color scheme you get, it's either color match, like the white one we have here, where it's a nice clean design with the black foam and then solid color scheme, or some of the more crazy color schemes that have graphics such as the smoke one, which actually has geometric patterns on the bottom that extend all the way down the strap. So that one's a really cool design, while this one's more subtle and more of a European look. Unlike POC helmets, none of the helmets have the colored foam, so these are all black. So with the white one, you definitely have that high contrast. With the darker colors, it'll blend in a little bit more. On the inside of the helmet, you can see that big MIPS liner. So this is their essential core. It's not the more fancy, lighter versions they have that are more integrated, but this one you can see it's basically attached with these little elastic holders, and you can actually just rotate this around. So in the case of an accident, this can rotate, which is kind of a cool feature. There's cutouts here that match the openings in the helmet, so you get nice air ventilation. And they're Ionic Plus pads. which are just attached by Velcro. So you can remove these for cleaning, and they feel nice and soft with the important pads right in the front and the back. You have a standard adjustable cradle system that extends through the body, and the straps directly attach inside of the helmet. So rear dial with the reflective stickers attached, and ponytail compatible with this big opening above it. It's also height adjustable, so if you just grab this, you can move this up and down by pulling on the actual holder. So you can see it goes up and down through a couple notches. The straps are your standard thin nylon with these adjustable strap Y splitter. So you can pull this up and down to adjust the position. And maybe one of the coolest features here is the buckle. So it's actually not a plastic buckle, but it's a magnetic design, and it's not a fidlock design. And you can see it actually has a different brand name here, which is really hard to read, but it's definitely not fidlock. And you can see it's basically a peg design. So you have this peg that goes into this hole, and then you have a mechanical piece with this tab here. So when you push down, you can see it moves this little piece in or out, which is spring loaded. So if you get them close, it just locks in, and then you can see it won't come off. You have to push down on the button and then pull. It's very easy to use actually, so you can do it with one hand. And it's a nice alternative to the standard plastic buckle. Now let's take a look at the helmet on the road. Here you can see a nice 360 shot of the helmet with the white color, nice classic design. You have a very distinctive U shape in the front, so it definitely looks like a Lumos helmet. And sleek overall profile, looks a lot like the Aero helmets with minimal vents. Really easy to adjust with the fully adjustable fit system, the adjustable rear cradle, and obviously the rear dial. So overall, really nice helmet, easy to wear. At 300 grams, it's very light. Not the lightest helmet we've worn, but the fact that you get the MIPS and 300 grams means you don't really feel it. You get a nice ventilation with this helmet as well. The 14 distinctive vents help airflow through it, even though it's not big giant vents like some other helmets, but still very comfortable. We also like the magnetic strap. It's a little bit interesting design we haven't seen before, and it makes it easy to put on and take off with one hand, and you don't have to deal with the plastic buckles. It's still pretty lightweight, even with the magnetic buckle. A lot of the lighter helmets go with plastic, and it's a little bit lighter, but again, at 300 you just don't feel it. We would have liked a brighter color or more graphic option, but with the white, it's a nice classic look, and you can see it looks a lot like a lot of the other Aero helmets on the market with that smooth profile and easy storage with the sunglasses with the OptiFit on the front with the little rubber pads. So a really comfortable helmet, well priced, and an interesting alternative from Lumos, which is really known for their light integration. With this one, the optional magnetic mount on the rear works great with the Firefly or the Manshine See Me light, so it gives you more options and doesn't leave a gaping hole when you don't have the light on. Now let's do a little comparison between the Lumos Aero GT and other helmets on the market. Here you can see we have the Smith Ignite. So another Aero helmet, but this one's a lot more aggressive. $300 versus the $100 for the Lumos. And you can see with this one, it's more of a short tail design, so definitely more swoopy. Really cool graphic options. And you can see you even get their Coro technology with the Smith helmets, which have these almost straw-like plastic pieces inside the vent for additional safety. We also have the POC Cytal. So this is one of the safest helmets according to Virginia Tech rating. And you can see much more blunt front piece. So it definitely looks more bulky. And that's probably why it's safer. And the cool thing about POC is you can see where you have this white and black contrast on the Lumos. The POC white is an off-white, and it's actually a white foam. So it looks really cool. And it's not something you really see that often. But again, very expensive. It's almost $400. The other thing is we have the Lumos Nyxel. So this is a commuter light helmet. So this one, you actually get these really cool thin LEDs integrated into the body. So you have the strip there, and then you have the strip on the front, and they're pretty seamlessly integrated into the bottom rim. So it looks nice, but not much venting. So more of a skateboard style helmet with the little rectangles on top. While the Aero GT gives you more standard venting with that sleeker profile and lighter weight. Now let's go over the pros and cons for the Lumos Ultra Aero GT helmet. What we like about it is very affordable. It also has a nice aerodynamic shape with some creative color options, so you have more than the standard white and black colors. You also have some fun graphic options. It also has a simple taillight magnetic rear mount Instead of the integrated light, so that means it's optional and still looks good when you have it on and you don't have any need for additional pieces. The only negative with this helmet is the fact you don't get a storage bag, but you do get a rain cover, which is a little bit interesting. You generally don't get a rain cover with the helmet, but it would have been nice to have the storage bag instead, as it's a nice way to store it. Taking everything into account would give the helmet a 9.5 out of 10. It's a lightweight and sleek helmet that's a nice alternative from Lumos standard helmets. Thanks for watching this review. Don't forget to like and subscribe. You can see more content from us on our website at thesweetcyclist.com, as well as follow us on Instagram at thesweetcyclist. This is The Sweet Cyclist reminding you to enjoy the ride.